not my obligation. I'm like, oh my god, and I end up doing other people's work, which I need to stop doing. I need to work on that. I'm just in when I was younger, not in high school. In high school, I was a little rebel. I was an asshole. But before then, I was a little goody two shoes. I now realize my entire life I've dealt with anxiety, but since I'm Mexican as fuck, my parents never went to take me to talk to anyone or like diagnose me or anything. But I've always been a very, very nervous, like, guys, you have no idea how easily I panic. Like, I panic at the slightest thing. But, yeah, so basically, I cried at work because they're assholes, and I went to HR and I reported them, and, well, actually, HR came to find me because they have, like, monthly wellness checks on their employees, and, my HR person, her name, well, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's a fellow Latina like me, and we just get each other, we understand each other, and I think she likes me. There's a new job opening, and she went to go look for me, and I could potentially get a $2 raise. I'm doing training for that right now, but they said they will still interview a few people before they make a decision whether I get the position or not. So I could potentially not get it, but fingers crossed that I do get it. And anyways, so yes, I at first I wasn't naming people because I feel bad getting people in trouble, but I didn't want to single any people out, and it wasn't until, I don't know, she just creates this safe space, and she goes, you don't have to tell me if you don't feel comfortable she buys him like food every single day. Every single day, the bitch is buying people food. And since then, I opened up to some of my coworkers, and I found out a lot of people don't like her. Sometimes they pull people from other departments to come help, and vice versa. And there's this guy named, we'll call him Richie. And Richie tells me that he is used to eating his lunch at a certain time. I take my lunch really early, and because like we all can't take our lunch at the same time, so we go one by one. And so like there's an order. I take my lunch first because I like it. We have 8 hours, and it divides my day in half. So like it's 4 and 4. And by the time I get to lunch, like I'm like, okay, I'm already home. Like it just feels like the day is almost done. Other people like to take late lunches so that so they only have to worry like 1 or 2 hours after they come back from lunch, which is whatever, I don't care. It sounds kind of dumb to me. They say it makes the day go by faster, but I'm like, you're working the entire time, and then you don't get a break until the end. It sounds dumb, but whatever. He's used to doing that, and he's in a different department, and the manager tells him just to keep his regular lunch. Like, you're used to it, just stay like that. He's like, cool, works for me. But this bitch overhears, and she walks up to him after the manager leaves, and she goes, no, you're not gonna take your lunch at this time. You need to figure it out. Get an earlier time or something, because I take my lunch at that hour. You can't take it. And honestly, I believe him when he told me that. I was like, she would do something like that. Dude, she's so fucking rude. And she also wears her hair in like 2 little braids. And I had seen people do this like when she's walking around. But I just assumed like, oh, that might get over her braids or something. And it wasn't until I was telling my friend, and her friend from another department walks in, and she's like, oh my god, what are you guys talking about? And my friend, who's also in Latina, she says, la cucaracha. And the other girl's like, oh, I hate her. And la cucaracha means cockroach. They call her cockroach because she has little antennas like a roach. And oh my god, my foot's asleep. And like, and apparently her boyfriend, who also works there with us, I've never met him, but he also doesn't like her. And then there's another guy from a different department that's in charge of like the cardboard boxes, because like once we're done with our cardboard boxes, we take them to him, and he like recycles them. I don't even know what he does. I just know that we take our cardboard to him, and he requests. Okay, so at first I thought, like always, they were taking advantage of me and telling me to take the cardboard because they didn't want to. And like an idiot, I listened, but then he started telling me like, dude, like as long as she doesn't come here, I'm cool. Because like, I don't even know, she's just like telling people how to do their jobs. And so he likes the rest of us coming in, because we just hand him the shit and go. But she'll stay there and like, I don't even know. He didn't go into details, but he was just like, nah dude, like I can't, like, Jesus crazy. And I don't know, it's just I don't want her to get fired. Like I don't, because people are telling me like, dude, keep reporting her, like maybe she'll get fired. I'm not gonna do that. Like she's annoying, and she's kind of like a jerk, but she's not a terrible person. I think she just I don't know what it is about her, because when we don't, like, when we have taken lunches, okay, so in the beginning I was shadowing her, so I would take a lunch with her, She was really nice. She was really sweet. She would ask me about my home life and how I grew up and what I was eating because I'm vegan, and so my lunch always has like some type of plant-based protein in it. And so she was just fascinated and interested in that. And there was no judgment. She just would ask questions. And so when we wouldn't talk about work, it's just pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But for some reason, when it comes to work, and it's not that she takes it too seriously or whatever, because I'm a great worker. I have a great work ethic. I've been told there's a guy named, it starts with a J, but I don't want to say their real names. We'll call him, no, that's, okay, we'll call him Timmy Turner. And, so Timmy is actually really, really badass. Like, he's the only person, he's like this straight, like, bro-y dad, and he's really goofy, and he's like one of the few straight guys that just talk to me like what, actually, I will say all the guys in my department are really cool with me, and as far as I know, they're all straight, with a wife and kids. There's other guys in other departments that get kind of awkward around me. But anyways, Timmy is, dude, he's fucking dope. Like, I love that guy. He's so cool. And why did I bring him? Oh, he's the only person that's ever told me anything good about my work. Like these people point out my mistakes, but they won't. Like, they've never told me, like, you suck at your job. It just, I feel like that. And anyway, so obviously my position used to belong to someone before, and he was telling me, like, damn, you work fast, and like, I really like the days that you work, because in those days, like, we finish a lot sooner, and I've noticed we do when it's me, Timmy, and another guy. And honestly, that girl that I hate, we finish so fast. Like we literally will have 1 hour or 30 minutes to just poke ass because we'll finish everything. I swear we finish everything on the days where it's us. But there's days where I work with other people, and like, we won't finish. Like, I know I'm gonna have to come in the next day and finish whatever was left over from yesterday. So like Sundays and Mondays, I know that those days are gonna suck. But like, days with a cockroach, as much as I hate her, I know that we'll get everything done. But anyways, so Timmy is the only person that's ever given me props, good feedback, any feedback for that matter, and I even brought that up to HR because she had a script to read off of, and she was telling me, like, oh, how are you getting along with your coworkers? Do you think you're fitting into your job well? Do you think you're doing well at your job? Like, it's a little script they have to read, and I told her, I was like, honestly, I have no idea because nobody tells me anything. They don't give me good or bad feedback or any constructive criticism. Like, I just hear nothing. And Timmy is literally the only person that will tell me how well I'm doing. He's never told me if I'm doing bad. So like, I don't know if I am bad, but he does tell me. Well, I remember when it was my first month there, he was like, how long have you been working here? And I was like, I think a month. And he was like, damn, like, you're pretty quick for a month. And I mean, I do know the reason I got hired, even though I have no work experience, is because I'm really well spoken and I adapt quickly, because they scheduled me for an interview and they were completely lost. Like, they didn't have anything ready. They weren't expecting me, even though they had me like on their things, and they're not allowed to ask you certain questions during an interview. So they were like stumbling around their words. They were looking at each other. Oh, and I was scared because it was 2 people interviewing me instead of 1. You know, I thought it was gonna be hard because you see 2 people, you think you're gonna manager before I went to HR, and she was like, "You need to have a meeting. The cockroach needs to be there." And this is the reason people quit, because they take advantage of the newbies. And my friend is so defensive of the new people. And honestly, like, I love her. I owe her. Like, I would have quit already, and that would have looked so bad because I have nothing to put on my resume. My plan was to be with this company for at least a year or two, and then maybe go to school at the same time. I still haven't decided, but like, I wanted to stay here for a while so that I could at least put something on my resume. All my other jobs have lasted a week to a month, and like, it just looks horrible for me to put that, even though, like, realistically, I only ever quit because of X factors that happened where I had to move, and like, I don't know, like, I never got fired. It was just, I quit for another reason. So I really wanted to work here, and I almost quit because of, like, the way they were treating me. But HR, no idea what she told them. I have no idea what she told them, but they switched up so fast. And I remember during my HR meeting thing, she told me, I don't care how long she's been with the company, 20, 30, 50 years, I'm not gonna be okay with it. No, she said, I'm not. What did she say? Whatever she said, I'm not gonna tolerate that. And that she was gonna sit down and talk to her and have a meeting with the rest of the people. And honestly, dude, I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna come into the work the next day and they're all gonna hate me. But they're actually really cool now. Like, it's been really, really good at work. I feel they're still kind of lazy and they still kind of poke ass, but it does feel different. Like, they're not piling the work on me, if that makes sense. If in fact they'll even take over some of my work, and yeah, like, we have a good relationship right now. I think there were some people that did ignore me for a few days, but now they just talk to me like whatever. Like, there's no tension, there's no weirdness going on. Like, it's cool. I like it. I had a lot of anxiety before going back. When she talked to them, I was on my days off, and she said she didn't know, or no, she said she wasn't allowed to tell me when she was going to talk to them. So I went in not knowing if she had talked to them, but then she pulled me aside a couple days ago, and she said, "How's it going?" I told her good, and since I do protect people a lot, and I didn't want to get into specifics initially, she made me promise her to tell her the truth. So when I told her it was going good, she said, "Joey, promise me you're telling me the truth. Is it going good?" And I was like, "Yes, I can actually say that with my full chest. Like, it's been going well." And she's like, "Good. And if anything changes, just come and tell me, please, because at that point it is considered retaliation, and then she has to do something a little bit more severe with them. But even if they'd have to do some fucked up shit for me to go to her, because when she told me that, she said, if she says anything, if she retaliates, I'm gonna have to do something else with her." And to me, I don't know if it's the case, but it sounded like she said she was gonna fire her. I don't want anyone to get fired. Like, no, like, that's scary. I don't want, no, no. Especially because, like, if they call, like, if they put this on their resume, and then they call, and they're like, "Oh, they got fired because of da-da-da." Like, yes, they're assholes, but then I don't believe that people are that cruel. I don't think I know that their intention was not to make me cry, and I said that during my HR thing, because I told her, I was like, I'm not sure if they're even aware of the way they treat me, so I don't want to incriminate them and make them feel like the cockroach buys the manager's food. That is a fact. And then I did say I feel like that's why she has favoritism and why they don't give her any of the heavy, hard work. But I can't say for sure. It's just a feeling I have. But the fact is, she does buy the manager's food and breakfast. And I just kept listing facts. Oh, and then it is a fact that my manager said, "Why are you so tired? You really haven't worked like much today." And to me, that's like even she said, "Oh no," like so he knows that she's not doing work. And I was like, "Yeah, that tells me he's acknowledging that she doesn't do much." And so I was just listing facts. I didn't want to say any opinions or anything. Like, I was just telling her these are facts and this is how I feel about it. And so I was saying, like, I